Hey, what's up, guys? Jag from Jaggy Sports. Got my man Rajan in the house. Rajan, NBA season on the brinks. I think the first game is the 25th. I'm not 100% sure. Or the 21st. I have no
Yeah,
idea. But breaking news: we got LeBron James is out for how many season? Sorry, how many weeks?
three. Thanks for having me. Yeah, LeBron James is out for 3 to 4 weeks
Yeah,
with sciatic nerve,
yeah.
and so yeah, it's looking like he's definitely going to miss the opening night game, which is on Tuesday, October 21st.
That's the first
With
time he's ever done that, right?
yeah, I believe that's the first time he's ever missed it. The Lakers are playing the Golden State Warriors that night, so I don't. LeBron will likely not be available for that game. And I think he's really going to take his time with his injury. At his age, he's probably not looking to rush back and looking to save himself for the long payoff run that
So
the
the
Lakers hope to make.
the thing is here, he's in his 23rd year. I can't remember how old he is, 41, 42 years old or something. But realistically speaking, we all know the first 10 games of the season, people are just like trying to get their, feel for the game and whatnot kind of thing. But do you think that he's using this to determine the state of the team itself for the first 10 games?
Well, I was watching ESPN earlier today, and Dave McMenamin, who's the Lakers reporter and is pretty well connected to Clutch
Yeah.
Sports, had a lot of made an interesting comment about how while LeBron's rehabbing from his injury, he's going to sort of sit back and see how the Lakers play the first several games without him.
Yeah.
And if he feels that they're not making progress or they're struggling to win, Dave McMenamin sort of implied that LeBron would be open to looking elsewhere, and I thought that he kind of snuck that in, and pretty surprising to hear. But I don't know, like it's kind of a bad look in my opinion. Like it's NBA season's long; it's 82 games. Are you really going to just pull the plug after 10 games? Of course, you expect the Lakers to maybe not be at their best if they're missing their second best player in LeBron James. Like, what's the problem? And they have a soft schedule too. The first 20 games or so, it's not that hard.
Maybe that's the reason why he's taking it off too, right?
Yeah,
Like the thing is, I mean, even if he requests a trade, which is, I've never seen him in his 23 seasons, he's never requested a trade before.
yeah,
So like
never.
even tumultuous times with the Cavs and the Heat, he's never once requested a trade. So I think maybe the media is kind of hyping this up a little bit, but with him, you never know, right?
Yeah, I think, to your point, like a week ago going into the season, I was saying to my friend of mine that it doesn't feel like there's a lot of hype with this NBA season. You're not
Oh,
hearing anything. Like there was like no buzz, nothing. And then to start the week, we get these reports about Giannis, which we will get to later, and then we get these LeBron injury reports, right? And I mean, you kind of wonder if this is just to drum up interest with the season starting in a couple weeks, right? So yeah,
I mean, the thing is, like, LeBron is kind of the guy who loves attention. He loves attention, right? And you know, we suspected it was his last season because he made that second decision of all time, whatever the hell it was. But no, it was a Hennessy commercial, which I thought was kind of lame, but it is what it is, right? But in his case, you know, him missing the first 20 games, that could be a well thought out play too, considering his age and his wear and tear kind of thing, right? So if he misses the first 20 games, what are we looking at? Like mid-November or December?
yeah, I want to say like sometime towards the end of November, yeah, for sure,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
And I should also mention that there were rumors circulating online earlier that, and Brian Windhorst mentioned this too, that he received a lot of questions and texts from people around the league asking if LeBron hurt his back potentially by playing golf, because
Oh,
those sciatic injuries are associated with golfers. A lot of golf players tend to get those injuries, right? Did he hurt it? Did he played a lot of golf this summer? He was learning how to play golf. Did something go wrong when he was playing golf, right? But the story that ESPN said that they're reporting is that this injury took place during his workout when he was working out in late July. So
Late
he's been,
July.
yeah, that's what they're saying. I don't know, right? Uh, It's,
I think, I think it's kind of like the classic Kawhi Leonard, right?
yeah,
You call an injury and then you get more time off, kind of thing, right?
yeah, yeah,
I mean, you know, it's hard to say like call it what it is, but considering this is LeBron's, like he rarely ever misses time, so it could be a legitimate injury, but you know, he could have nursed it in the summer. He could have undergone treatment in the summer, right? If the reports are true that it happened in July. But I mean, it is what it is. According to ESPN, they're number six overall. That's in the Western Conference, but you never know, right?
yeah.
So moving on, let's take a look at Giannis. You mentioned earlier that Giannis has been in the media for the last week, but then again, me and you've known this for about a year and a bit now, right? The rumors of him in New York, pictures of him in New York with his family walking the streets. We all know he wants to be a New York Knick. Do you think, do you agree with Kendrick Perkins coming out on Wednesday saying that he's going to be a New York Knick by the end of the year?
I, I the thing with the Knicks is like they wasted. They still have some assets to move, but they could have had more assets had they not used it all on a Mikal Bridges,
Yeah.
right? So Mikal Bridges, they gave up five first round picks for Mikal Bridges. Mikal Bridges is a really good player. He's durable. He shows up to
Not
work
worth
every day.
five, though.
But you can't trade five first round picks for Mikal Bridges, right? Had they not traded five first round picks for Mikal Bridges, Giannis would have been in New York Knicks 2 months ago. He would have
Oh,
been in
yeah.
New York 2 months ago, like easily, right? So the thing is that what Windhorst, and I was listening to his podcast this morning, he believes that when the Bucks decide to trade Giannis, it'll be for players because they can't tank. He thinks it'll be for players, right? So that keeps New York in play because likely he would be going to New York. He, meaning Giannis, would be going to New York for Mikal Bridges, Mitchell Robinson, and Karl Anthony Towns, right?
Or OG Anunoby.
Yeah, or OG Anunoby. But
I
the
mean,
thing, but the thing is that you cannot rule out the Houston Rockets, the San Antonio Spurs, right? Because you remember, right? And I just remember this the other day. Remember in June around the draft when you kept hearing about Kevin Durant potentially being traded to San Antonio,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
But the Spurs ultimately pivoted, and the reason they pivoted away from it was because the Spurs had their eye on Giannis. They want Giannis,
Point. That's a
right?
good point. Yeah.
Right? And Spurs have so many picks, so many prospects on their roster, right? And so I think you can't rule out San Antonio because then, as Shams alluded to, that now Giannis's agent, since having those talks with the Knicks in August, are now putting together, sort of doing their research now to see which teams could be in play should he become available. So they're doing their homework now, right? They're looking at all the potential teams, and when you look at all the potential teams that can make a move for Giannis, you got to look at Houston Rockets, San Antonio Spurs, New York Knicks, Brooklyn Nets, right? Because the
The
Nets have
Warriors
a
too.
yeah, the Golden State Warriors, right? So like, there's going to be like if he becomes available by December, by January, right? Like Kaminga can't be traded till after January 15th. So you're looking at January, right? If he becomes available, there's going to be a it'll be a crazy race for Giannis in the middle of the season. But if you're Giannis though, when do mid-season trades ever work?
I
You know
never.
what I mean? Like
No,
that's what
never.
I'm saying. Like I think he really fumbled the bag here. I think he needed to go in July. And I think he made a mistake by not asking out in July. I don't know why he didn't ask for a trade in July.
I think yeah, Giannis is kind of like the guy who he wants to appease everybody, right? He wants to be liked. He's that guy. He wants to be liked. However, we all know it's not working out for him. We all know that Milwaukee Bucks are in a bit of a bind here now because who's their point guard?
Kevin Porter Jr., Gary Trent.
I mean,
Yeah,
the thing is,
yeah, they
I
could.
mean, when's the last time they were playmakers, right? Like, I
Yeah, they're
mean,
not. No. Yeah.
and
So
so like,
I think the plan in Milwaukee is this, right? You got Miles Turner.
yeah,
They vastly overpaid Miles Turner, right?
100%, yeah,
So all eyes on Milwaukee Bucks for the first 20 games of the season, right? So if they get off to like a 10-10 start, and say after 20 games in a bad Eastern Conference, you're only 10-10. The trade rumors are going to be swirling, right? They're just going to be hovering around that team,
yeah,
right? Right. And so I think the plan is to put the ball in Giannis's hands and have him run point, right? Because they're saying that Giannis wants the ball in his hand, so the Bucks are going to placate him. They're going to put the ball in his hand and have him run like pick and roll with Miles Turner, right? They're going to be doing all that and see what happens, right? And I,
but
I think I think Giannis is going to put up insane numbers. I think that's for sure. His numbers are going to be insane.
oh yeah, easy,
Whether they how many games they win, I don't know, but they're going to need Miles Turner to really bring it on the defensive end. But honestly, Miles Turner was really good for the Indiana Pacers last year. You remember Indiana went on that big run to the finals, right? But Turner defense, in my opinion, isn't as good as it was 2 or 3 years ago. Right? He's more of a floor spacer now. Right? Doesn't rebound a whole lot.
he
Right? He
doesn't
doesn't
because
rebound.
he's all about the
Yeah,
perimeter now, right?
yeah. He goes with the perimeter. He seems to avoid contact a lot too. I noticed. Right? Not like when he was in his younger days, he could go down low and really score around the basket. Now he settles for way too many jumpers for my liking, and he doesn't rebound a lot. For a big guy, he doesn't rebound very well. Right?
Yeah, I mean the thing is, okay, so you mentioned that if they go 10-10, right?
Yeah.
But if you recall last season, and I remember this, they went 1 for 9 or something like that. There
Yeah,
was some
yeah,
crazy stat, and everybody was saying, "Oh, are you guys gonna make a trade? Are you guys gonna make a trade or something like that?" And then all of a sudden, they kind of won a couple games here and there, and then obviously they never made a trade,
yeah.
but you know their achievements in the entire year were just horrible.
Horrible, yeah. Giannis and Dame individually got their own numbers, but they never meshed as a unit.
No, not
When
at
Dame
all.
went over there, I thought they were going to be like one of the best pick and roll tandems in the league. It never happened
Yeah, yeah.
because, and I think part of the problem is that Giannis doesn't set screens, and he doesn't set them very good either. Right? He's not a guy that's going to come out and set a screen for the point guard. So Dame was playing one on one a lot of times, right? And when you're Dame, you're you're playing at that age. You're getting older, and with your injury history, it was kind of putting the Bucks in a tough spot because then it's Dame going one on one all the time, right? Where there's no action going around. It's just Dame, and then there's just people standing around, right? And so I think basically what you're going to do, you're going to see a lot of Giannis ball. I can see Giannis putting up 30, 35 points per game this year easily, right?
Yeah.
Whether that translates into wins or not, I don't know. But if they get off to a 10-10 start, if they're 8-12. Whoa, that like I don't think he's in a uniform in a Bucks uniform by the end of by the middle
You
of
say
December.
8-12?
Like if they're 8-12 and they're they're 8-12 and they're hanging around well then again they are in the Eastern Conference. 8-12 in the Eastern Conference will give you a 6 seed, 7 seed,
Easy.
right?
Well,
Easily,
it's like
right?
any
So
other
like,
competition,
uh,
man. Like,
yeah, I know.
you know, it's like literally next to nothing. The best team
Well,
in the East is the Cavs.
right. So I think that's basically that's been the Bucks' pitch to Giannis the whole summer. Hey, stay in the Eastern Conference. We're terrible. The East is terrible. That's been their pitch. Like we're bad. This is the bad conference, right? So yeah, I mean because what is it going to take for Giannis to leave? Right? Like I don't see them getting off to a 1-9 start. What are the chances that happens 2 years in a row? They get off to like a 1-9 start.
Yeah, yeah,
Hmm.
totally. I mean, the
So
thing is,
basically, what they're relying on this year is Giannis, Kyle Kuzma, Miles Turner, right? They're not exactly scaring anybody, but what they have going for them is Jason Tatum's injury. Indiana Pacers dealing with the multiple injuries. You got T.J. McConnell out now for a month, strained hamstring, right? So and they don't have Halliburton. So you got all these injuries in the Eastern Conference, and the only teams that they really need to, watch out for is Cleveland and New York, right? So if
And
Doc Rivers,
Orlando. Orlando.
Yeah, Orlando, yeah, and if Doc Rivers is gonna have to basically coach us behind Doc, he's gonna have to coach like he's never coached before. And one thing about Doc, I'll say this, right? Doc Burrow struggles in the playoffs.
Yeah.
He's he's a good regular season
Oh,
coach. Like
100%.
he can find somebody at the end of the bench and have them thinking they're an all-star.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that guys like Lou Williams and Patrick Beverly who
Oh, no.
played for him years ago. They played out of their minds when Doc was coaching them.
Oh, no, easy.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Right? Like he's at one hell of a coach in the regular season. Yeah, I get it. I
yeah,
totally
yeah,
get
yeah,
it. But me personally, you know, I think Milwaukee has to come to the realization that he's gonna leave regardless. I mean, the thing is, you see all these rumors and whatnot, kind of thing. Then all of a sudden, I read a report that his family left to Greece, went back
yeah,
home,
yeah.
and forget the guy's name, um, O'Connor, I think it was. He's the guy who said, "Oh, a direct flight to Greece is only done through Newark, New
Yeah,
Jersey."
yeah,
So basically, um, I think it's the inevitable. He's gonna leave,
yeah, yeah,
and it's to New York,
yeah.
right?
And
But like
do the Brooklyn Nets have a shot?
to get him,
Yeah, they got a lot of picks, man. They have a
well,
lot of draft picks.
they got a lot of draft picks, but like, how much can you give up for the guy, right? Because draft picks are one thing, but like legitimate talent that will actually help you
Yeah,
now is another.
yeah.
They don't have anyone.
No.
Like I'm pretty sure that they're just gonna be the worst team in the NBA this season,
Yeah, I
right?
agree.
So I mean, it is what it is. But let's go over the Western Conference for a sec. So ESPN came out with this ranking, and just wondering if you agree with this. So number one was obviously OKC, and then the second one was I believe it was Denver, and number three,
Was
uh,
it? I believe it was Golden State.
oh, oh no, actually, Golden State, then Denver.
Yes.
So, okay, let's just, and then, you got the Clippers, then you got the Houston Rockets. We'll save Houston for at the last little minute here, but the thing with the Golden State Warriors is how do they get number two?
I don't understand it. I was just talking to somebody about that the other day. I don't like I know when the Warriors traded for Jimmy Butler last year,
Yeah,
they were 500 and then they went on a 23 to 8 run to close the season. I understand that, right? But I think it's a new season.
yeah.
They're older,
But
right?
that's the thing
They're
though, right?
yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're older, and I don't agree with them being number two. I was shocked to see that. I don't
Oh
see
yeah,
how they. Yeah, I was shocked. I cannot. Like you look at Steph Curry is 37, Al Horford 35, Jimmy Butler 36. I think, or Jimmy Butler 37, Draymond Green 36.
37.
Yeah. So their starting five consists of four players that are 35 and older. I was watching. I know it's just preseason. I was watching their game the other day.
Yeah.
They look slow. They look
Oh
very
yeah.
slow, unathletic, and just there's no spark. It's just like there's no. It's lack of speed. You can't be slow
They're,
in the Western Conference.
I
You need
mean,
speed.
especially in the regular season, because now you're
Yeah,
you're dealing with like full court pressure. You're dealing with the young guys off OKC, young guys off Houston Rockets. Then you got young, somewhat young, with Minnesota.
yeah.
I mean, the thing is, like, I was stunned when I saw that because I'm like, how in the world is Houston number five? And like then you have Golden State Warriors as number two. I don't
Well,
understand that at all.
well, I think the concern with Houston is this: is that, and this is what the I guess the experts are saying is that basically they basically don't have a point guard right now, right? They have Reed Shepherd, who's at the
Yeah.
end of the bench, who's their draft pick last year. I think he averaged like 2 minutes a game last year. He did not play, and he hasn't played a ton in preseason as well.
The bucket
So
though, right? Like,
I know, but like you know what I find concerning if you're a Houston fan. Why
yeah,
isn't Reed Shepherd playing much in the preseason? That means Udoka sees something that he didn't like. Right? Maybe it's his defense, maybe it's his lack
I
of
think it's
ball
his
pressure.
defense. I
It's
think
got to
it's
be
his
his
defense.
defense because he can shoot it, he can score, right? And I also think what they're doing, Houston, is also they're putting the ball in Thompson's hand, they're putting the ball in Sengun's hand, and getting them to make plays out of the post, right?
Yeah,
They kind of want Sengun playing the Jokic role in the
yeah.
mid post there, and they want Amin Thompson learning how to bring the ball up the floor. I don't know, I don't know how effective that's going to be through for an entire season because you have all this guard play across the league where there's just all these dynamic guards out there, right? And I just don't know how it's going to go. And I think that's why you look at Houston, they finished second place and they had Fred VanVleet kind of managing the game as a game manager last year. And that had a lot to do with them getting second place and as well as the Houston Rockets defense, right? And then this year you have no Fred VanVleet
Yeah.
and you have all these restrictions that the Rockets have in terms of what they can do trade wise. They can't really make any trades till after December 15th. So what you see is what you get. And they're saying that there's just too many forwards on the team right now, right? So there's a lot of forwards and not a lot of ball handlers. Not a lot of
So,
yeah,
so get this, okay? So basically, when you need something, you go shopping. You go
yeah.
shopping at a place that has exactly what you need, right? Who is one of the teams that is struggling right now and they haven't offered an extension to this one individual who is a elite point guard in the Eastern Conference? And I think you know who I'm talking about.
Yeah, I think Trey Young is a player that the
100%.
Houston Rockets need to keep their eye on, right? I think Trey Young, he didn't get the extension
Yeah.
that he was hoping for this past summer. I think the Hawks are kind of in wait and see mode, right? The Hawks didn't offer their starting shooting guard Dyson Daniels a extension either, right? So I think Atlanta is kind of in a prove it season. They want the players to sort of prove what what their worth is before they make any long term commitments.
I think Dyson Daniels making him prove it is one thing, but in the past couple seasons, like you've tried to get Trey Young to prove it, to carry the team. In the last couple seasons, he's failed to. I'm not just putting this on him. It's obviously his entire you know his entire team's fault too, right? It's a team's effort, right? But the thing is, you know, you got to look at can does Trey Young fit in Atlanta?
I I think the fit is there. The results aren't there. Like you watch him play,
Yeah,
and like yeah, he's playing well, right? But it's not translating to wins, right? So it's like I don't know why he's not winning more. Like it's the Eastern Conference. You shouldn't be in the play-in spot every year.
and that's the thing though, right? So
Yeah,
like, I just think that they need to pull the plug as well as Milwaukee. I get it, right? But like,
yeah,
how many times are these teams gonna say, well, like he's been loyal, and we want to stick it out and just keep trying and trying and trying. Years go by, then his value goes down.
yeah, yeah,
So I think Atlanta needs to cut the ties with one Trey Young, and Houston, who should be looking at Trey Young as the next point guard for them.
yeah,
If they have Trey Young, let's just say hypothetically they had Trey Young and they gave up, you know, one of their fours, like you said, they have too many, right?
yeah.
If they gave him up, where do you see Trey Young, Kevin Durant, and the Houston Rockets in the Western Conference?
I think you got to put them right up there, top two. Top
Top
two,
two.
top three. Yeah, because I think Trey Young, Amin Thompson, Sengun, Kevin Durant. But the thing is, if you're going to trade Trey Young, you're going to want somebody back. So I'm thinking the Rockets. Obviously, their first round picks are in play, and then you're gonna have to give up probably Jabari Smith, which is understandable. Reed
Yeah.
Shepard, understandable. And then if you're Atlanta, you can't give up Trey Young unless you get either Sengun or Amin Thompson in that deal. I mean, you can but I wouldn't be giving up those guys. Right? You
I
can't
would
give up those
never. I
guys.
would never give
No,
Sangoon. I would give
no,
up Jabari Smith, like you said, Reed
yeah,
Shepard, and they have all their picks, right? They
yeah,
have all their picks,
yeah.
and you know
Because they basically got Kevin Durant for like
nothing.
nothing. Yeah,
I don't know how that
yeah,
happened.
yeah. I don't know
I
how that
really,
happened either.
that just
Yeah.
like it was. Yeah,
So
it was
the
crazy.
I think what Houston is probably going to be weighing over the next several months. Do we want to go after Giannis or do we want to go after Trey Young? Right. But the thing
Houston,
is that yeah, I think Houston. I think definitely. I think Houston's in play for Giannis. Right.
really?
And if they yeah, because I remember when Durant got traded. And the reason why Houston held out for so long on Durant was because they were like, look, we're not giving up the farm for KD. We want to keep our assets for a bigger move down the line. And everybody thought, no, the big move is Giannis, right? So I know the Rockets need a point guard, but it's Giannis, right? If he's available and you can get him, you got to go get Giannis, right? But Durant's only got a couple years left, right? And
If
then
that.
Grant is due for an extension too, and they're saying that you might see an announcement in the next few days over
Really?
Kevin Durant.
Oh,
Yeah, they're saying before the season starts, there might be an announcement regarding Kevin Durant's extension with Houston. It might be for 2 year deal, not the max. No, it's less than the max.
probably like
So
220, right?
yeah, something like that. It could be 2 year. I read a rumor that it might be 2 year 112, right? Right? So, and that's
It's,
significantly lower than the max. So he's leaving wiggle room for them to make other moves, right?
yeah. Oh,
And he was never going to get the max either, right? So it was a real negotiation between Houston and Kevin Durant. Houston basically told him, look, we're not maxing you out. You can come here, we love to have you, but we're not going to max you out. And I think Kevin Durant understood that he's just not in the position to be demanding max contracts anymore.
I
Yeah,
mean, I mean, LeBron James needs to talk to Kevin Durant on that one, right?
yeah, yeah, for sure.
It's just you're much older. You don't you shouldn't be getting the max, right? But
Yeah,
it is what it is. But
yeah.
no, thanks for coming on board and tune in next week when we go over the Eastern Conference
Okay,
and who
sounds
belongs
good.
there. Okay.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
Take care.
Thanks.